guys, welcome to this edition of the SA Crypto Market Analysis with myself, James Preston.
And myself, Graeme.
And this edition proudly sponsored by Altcoin Trader. Altcoin Trader offer you over 20 cryptocurrencies, and the new edition, which is now 6 months old, they've offered it for quite some time and it's produced incredible results of late, is the offering of gold and silver in these uncertain times. Of course, gold and silver produce a great safe haven, and they offer Krugerrands, gold and silver Krugerrands, which you can invest in live on their platform. Check them out, altcointrader.co.za. They trade in over 12 million rands worth of volume every single day. I've been to their offices, I know them well, I know their team, their customer service team are all remarkable, so check them out, altcointrader.co.za. Graeme, this edition, we're heading into the weekend, the halving is getting closer, but Bitcoin has been bouncing around like an electric, in between two electric fences. It's just down 1 second, up the other second, extreme volatility at the moment. What's going on?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's been moving in a fairly volatile sideways manner for some time. And I mean, we did get a really nice bounce off the lows that we got in the middle of March, but that run has now been brought to a halt. It hasn't been a big smackdown, which has been pleasing by most respects. But I think the major theme that I'm seeing is just dollar strength, and that doesn't just apply to Bitcoin, that's applying to the financial markets across the board. And it is the mighty dollar right now, and that's, I think, along with Bitcoin and the rest of the financial markets, is suppressing the price action of Bitcoin in particular, and preventing it from moving to higher highs.
All right, so it's kind of 50-50 from what I'm seeing. I mean, we've got a couple of guys on our various groups saying that we're going down to 6,100. Other guys saying we're heading up to 8,000. What do you reckon could happen in light of the US dollar strengthening at the moment?
So yeah, getting back to March, I mean, we had that big drop all the way from, well, I mean, as a local high of 10,000, all the way down to below 5,000, and we even got wicks at 4,000. So from there, we did move up very significantly and in good fashion. And we found that the 6,800 was a really significant level. So I'm going to go down to the 4-hour chart here. So that's, sorry, did I say 4,600? I meant 6,800. So the 6,800 level, we took a very long time to break through that level on the way up. You can see here I've put it in a blue dotted line at the top of my blue zone here, and we tried once, twice, well, on a couple of occasions in this cluster here, 3 times, and eventually we broke up to the upside of that 6,800. But now we're getting sucked back towards that level. So that's just being really cemented as a really significant price level for Bitcoin, and now it's threatening to break to the downside, in my opinion. And if we can hold that ground in the face of the dollar strength that we've seen, then that would be great. And if we can move up from here, I think that would be really positive. But yeah, I mean, we just have to wait and see which way the market wants to move here. We had that a really nice trade on that we discussed, but we did have a rising wedge developing, and we did eventually break out the bottom of that rising wedge, which essentially put an end to that rally.
You mentioned that you are a little bit bearish, not enough so to open a short position, because even though you are a hodler and an accumulator, we know that you like to increase your Bitcoin holdings by short-term opportunities that you see in the markets, whether that be the opportunity to go long or short. But you did mention earlier in this episode that you are a little bearish at the moment. Obviously not enough to open a short position right now.
Look, if you're going to press me for a movement here, I am slightly biased to the downside. So let's call it 51% to 49%.
Wow, that is extremely slight, isn't it?
And hence the reason I'm not opening up any shorter term positions. Again, what I do like to look for when I do enter short term leverage positions is a contraction of volatility. So I want to see that squeezing, that store up of energy, and then building a position in that process, and then obviously looking to profit as we move into a more volatile state. But in the meantime, I'm very happy to sit on my hodl Bitcoin. If we do drop lower from here, I'll try to scratch around and find some more money, but I have very little dry powder left after the last dip that we had to buy to try to find some more to enter at lower positions. But in general, the big picture for me is that I think this financial crisis worsens, and ultimately the dollar and fiat in general comes under pressure. So my goal is to build up Bitcoin along with gold and silver and other safe haven assets that are immune to, or at least are going to be resistant to inflation, and be in a position to hold as many of those hard assets when the real crisis unfolds. So that's really my longer term strategy, and if I can pick up a couple leverage positions on the way there that can help me boost my holdings, then I'm definitely looking to take advantage of that as well. But no conditions right now that look interesting for that type of trading at the moment.
So talking about the economic crisis unfolding, you've spoken a few times about the strength of the US dollar. Do you want to take us through any charts that confirm that?
Outside of crypto, some of the things I'm looking to trade are the emerging market currencies versus the dollar. So obviously dollar strength is the main theme, and then you want to trade whatever's strong against whatever is weak. And right now what looks exceptionally weak are the emerging market currencies. Obviously you've seen the rand come under a lot of pressure. We know that as South Africans, that was a pretty unbelievable move. I did put a tweet out about this, if I am going to blow my own trumpet, to say that I expected us to break through the 1550 level, and that was going to be significant. And my target there was actually 17,000 or 1750, which we actually got some overperformance after we hit that target. But there's a whole bunch. The ruble, that's along with the oil story, saw the ruble come under a lot of pressure. The Aussie dollar compared to the US dollar is also under pressure. They've had a bit of a bounce, but looks like it's going to weaken further. The Korean won, this is a trade that I really like the look of. Might be a little bit of a messy chart here, but I'm expecting some big things coming from, big loss in value for the won. So that's a quick fly through. So those are the trades outside of crypto that's keeping me busy for now, while things are a little bit sleepy in the crypto market.
Out of interest, where are you making those kind of trades? What Forex platforms do you use?
So I use a couple. I use Scandinavian capital markets. They're great for high leverage, and they are in a secure jurisdiction in Sweden, which is great. And then IG is the other one I use. You don't get the same type of leverage there, but you get a lot more variety on the IG platform.
Of course, yes. We saw IG Wealth at CryptoFest last year, 2019, down in Cape Town. And it's interesting that you brought this up. It all speaks to the holistic picture, because these emerging markets are taking such a beating as so many people exit them into the stronger US dollar. And so talking about these Forex, these foreign exchange currencies is pertinent to the argument. What kind of leverage do you use? Because there's also the other side of the coin right now that a lot of Forex and binary options scammers are out prowling the hallways, if you like, prowling the SMS lines, the email lines, the trading groups, and saying, hey, I can offer you 5% returns a day on our Forex platform. And I think that's why I asked you the question of where you are applying your trades. But also it would be interesting to know what kind of leverage you use on those platforms for such trades.
Probably on average between 20x and 50x.
Okay, all right.
On those positions.
Well, that's fair, because as you say, a lot of the Forex exchanges use 100 plus leverage, and it's pretty gruesome out there. Graeme, moving on from Forex markets, the altcoins, is there anything that you wanted to share with us around those markets, or are they just looking extremely dangerous right now?
So we did touch on it last week, because we were seeing quite a bit of action in the crypto market in general, and obviously your altcoins do move with more volatility. So there were quite a large number of people getting excited about that. I was quite cautious, because I felt that we were running into a significant area of resistance, and that is that blue band there that I've highlighted, and that's effectively what we've got is a moderate sell-off once we've reached that level. And now, same as Bitcoin, we just need to wait and see which way the trend reasserts. Are we going to? Is it a down move from here, or is it an up move from here? The next impulsive move will be significant, because I think that's going to give us the indication about where the longer term trend wants to take us. But for now, like I said, I'm waiting for the market to tell us what its next move is. When the market is moving sideways with moderate volatility, that's when retail traders and your day traders generally get turned over, to put it politely. So rather wait for a clear setup, be patient, trade less, you'll generally make more. That's the old saying. Wait for the right setups to come along and be selective. Don't be trying to jump in and out the market that's trending sideways, unless you're a trend trader. But that's not my specific strategy. And it's a bit like surfing. If there's no waves in the ocean, don't bother going out there. You could get eaten by a shark. So rather stay on the beach, wait for the waves and the swell to pick up, and then enter the market when there's something clear for you to get involved in.
So you mentioned there that you're not a trend trader. What kind of trader would you classify yourself as?
So I look to trade breakouts, and particularly breakouts after a volatility contraction. So if there's a neater word for that, then I'll try to find it, but that's probably the best description I can give you at the moment.
Graeme, any final comments before we wrap up?
One thing that caught my interest was the Charlie Shrem tweet.
Is that because of, I was going to say, is that because of his cursing that attracted your attention to it?
I'd like to say no, but
you can't miss that, can you?
Those big capital letters do jump out at you.
They do indeed.
They do indeed. So he's saying that, he's pointing to the uptick in volume of the grayscale instrument, which is an instrument generally used by institutions to get access to crypto, including Bitcoin. And he's seeing a large increase in the volume there. So that for him, he's saying, well, look, the institutions are on their way. There's a total of $1.6 billion allocated to this instrument. But what I really enjoyed most was one of the replies here, saying that it's not about the B's, it's not about the billions, it's about the trillions. If you're looking for a real institutional investment, and it gives a breakdown of your kind of investable universe in traditional markets. But just the thought of some of those trillions finding their way into Bitcoin, especially as this financial crisis unfolds, that's what is really exciting to me. And it's, again, the analogy is like elephants jumping into a jacuzzi, I think, because if the institutions really do come, there's not going to be anywhere for that liquidity to go, except for it being a real rocket fuel injection into the Bitcoin price. So that's maybe a thought I'll leave you with.
All right, well, there we go. Graeme Tennant, our financial analyst on this week's edition of Market Analysis. This edition proudly sponsored by Altcoin Trader. Check him out, altcointrader.co.za. 20 cryptos which you can invest directly with your South African rands. All their banking systems are up and running after the FNB saga. Everything's fine, and they've got a great support team. And of course, you can invest in gold and silver directly. Gold and silver Kruger rands directly on their platform as one of the options that you can trade in. Check them out, altcointrader.co.za. From myself, James Preston.
And myself, Graeme Tennant.
It's goodbye for now.
Cheers for now.
SA Crypto is not a registered financial advisory, and the information provided in this market analysis is for informational purposes only. Each audience member is responsible for their own financial decisions, and SA Crypto cannot be held responsible for any decisions made by those within its audience. SA Crypto strongly encourages all audience members to consult a professional and registered financial advisor before making any financial decisions.